So I want to believe you can hear me anyway. So we see a growing. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Of course, I can. So now we see a growing tension between the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lokpobiri, and the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Felix Ogbe, over the issue around redeployment and promotion of staff. This is clearly an internal crisis, and one would want to ask the question, should such an issue even degenerate into industrial action in the first place?
It's an unfortunate situation because what we are seeing right now is what could have been an internal organizational issue that could lead to an industrial action that will affect a wider spectrum of the society. The agency itself is a federal government agency. So if it goes on an industrial action, the impact is on the government as a whole and the rest of us. So it's something that I believe is avoidable, especially in this season of fragile economic situations and a lot of other things. The actors should rather sit down and iron this thing out and prevent the issue of industrial action at this time.
So it's quite interesting because a letter was actually issued to the Executive Secretary, that is Felix Ogbe, detailing what powers his particular position should have and why he should not usurp the authority of the chairman. And according to what was pointed out in the Nigeria Oil and Gas Industry Content Act 2010, it does not empower the executive secretary to redeploy or appoint management staff. So, of course, we need to also understand, are there any valid interpretation to the act as regards the powers of the chairman and what the powers of the executive secretary should be, and of course the influence these leaders should have on whatever appointments or policy direction this particular part of government should do?
Well, interestingly, none of the actors has the power to interpret law in Nigeria. Neither the lawmaker who is in charge, nor the executive secretary, nor Labour, none of them has the power to interpret the laws of the land. Where there are contests about what the law says, it is the role of the judiciary to do that. So the expectation will have been that one of these parties will proceed to that authority that has the right and competence to interpret the laws of the federation. And the court will lay it out clearly, and that will settle the matter, rather than this approach that the actors are taking right
now. Okay, so now, how do you think this ongoing rift between the minister and the executive secretary could turn into? What do you think it could spiral into? Because we know that PENGASSAN plays a strategic role when we look at the oil and gas and including the energy industry in Nigeria. Can Nigeria afford another situation that could negatively impact this sector?
I am just hoping that the intention is, even if there's going to be a strike at all, it will not extend beyond the Nigerian Content Development Commission and not into several other areas where PENGASSAN could exercise its influence through strike action. However, even the one within that commission is preventable. That is my take. Whatever the context is right now, the actors can iron it out, especially since the subject matter is something that is defined within the law. So they can say down, this is what the law says, you do not have the right to do this, this is what you can do, this is what you cannot do. And they can come to an agreement. Where it is impossible to come to an agreement, then they should go to the court. And while the court process is going on, it is expected that parties will maintain status quo ante and keep it as that. So I just hope that they will look at the fragile nature of where we are right now, and the actors can come together and resolve this without any industrial action. And if there must be industrial action, that will not extend beyond the content development.
Well, Dola Olojede, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. We appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.